Lance and Larry tracking the pack. We head north to Green Bay. Larry McCarren, the radio analyst of the Green Bay Packers. And Larry, before we talk about the Seahawks, got to talk about Eddie Lacy. Is he as good as advertised, the way he looked in St. Louis?
Well, let's hope so. He looks like the real deal to me. I mean, he's one of those guys that has a feel for carrying the football. When he gets up there, the best part about it is the first guy can't get him down. He's the type of running back that will do more for a line than a line can do for him. Some of his good runs, they'd have been 1 or 2 yards if the first man gets him down. Couldn't do it in St. Louis, and I think that's a good indicator. He's a game guy, and when the lights are on, he plays his best.
Jermichael Finley, 3 of his 4 catches, Larry, were for first downs. Is he a changed man and back to his 2009 form?
Well, I think we go back to halfway through last season, and Mike McCarthy sat him down and took a look at the playoff game in Arizona after the 2009 season, and Jermichael Finley in that game was a beast. And I think at that point the light went on, and Jermichael Finley's been a changed man ever since. And he picked up this season, this training camp, right where he left off last season, which was pretty darn good. He's also a little bigger than that first pass he caught in St. Louis on that little key pass. I mean, he bowls the guy over. He's just playing stronger, and he can still run like the wind. The Packers got a definite, if Jermichael Finley continues on like he has since the start of training camp, the Packers got themselves a very dangerous weapon.
In just 15 snaps, Johnny Jolly had a tipped pass for an interception. He also had a pick of his own and 2 tackles. That's really productive. In my opinion, he made the team right there, Larry, because he did it when the lights were on and when the lights were brightest. Do you agree?
Lance, who am I to argue with you? I do have to agree with you. I mean, he certainly has set himself up to make this football team. I mean, let's think about it. Can you think of another defensive lineman that has had that collection of accomplishments in one game or one scrimmage this preseason? I cannot. Johnny Jolly's making plays, and he's doing it after being out of the game for 3 years. I think he's headed in the right direction. And if he didn't make the team in St. Louis, he took an enormous step towards making it.
Larry, you're at practice every day. I was there with you on Wednesday. Mason Crosby missed 3 field goals in a row. On a panic meter from 1 to 10, where's your concern level?
Probably at 0. I mean, I think if Mason doesn't get it done, Giorgio Tavecchio, he looks like he can kick. But the thing that was really befuddling on Wednesday when you were out there is that they're basically saying, Mason, here's the job. You know, they're giving him more kicks than Tavecchio. Mason, here's the job. You kicked well in St. Louis. Here's the job. Just go in there and make these kicks, and this case is closed. And Mason goes out there and misses 3 kicks in a row. And now the competition goes on. And as we've talked about, I think every time we've done this, all they want Mason to do is kick like he can on a very regular basis. Didn't do that this week in practice.
Now, heading into the Seahawks game, everybody wants to talk about the Fail Mary play and all that stuff. But really, in reality, Larry, is this a little bit of a measuring stick between 2 of the better teams in the NFC that at the end of the day want to be in that NFC Championship game?
Well, it'd come as no surprise to a lot of folks who are around the NFL a lot if these teams were in the NFC Championship game. Both good football teams, both trying to get ready for the regular season. I think what kind of barometer this particular game is all depends on how long the good guys, the starting type players, play. If they play a lot, like into the 3rd quarter, well, then it's a pretty good barometer. If one team plays their starters for a quarter and the other team yanks theirs, and then it's first against seconds in the 2nd quarter and beyond, well, that's not such a barometer. But when it's their best against our best, I think it's a pretty good reading of where you're at this point in the season, which is a couple weeks before the regular season opener.
In your opinion, Larry, how much will Russell Wilson test all of the work that the Packers defense has done on the read option and mobile quarterbacks in the offseason?
I'll take choice B, the mobile quarterbacks, because that's just part of his game. But as far as Seattle running a lot of read option and that type of stuff, I don't think they'll do it in the preseason because it is, in fact, the preseason. I think they'll save that, and I think a lot of teams will save that stuff for the regular season and spring it on an opponent that counts. But with the Packers, in this particular game, Russell Wilson, he always has that mobile quarterback dimension. He's always bringing that to the party. So it'll certainly test the Packers in that regard. But as far as getting ready for Colin Kaepernick coming down the line, running the read option and pitching, I'd be surprised if the Seahawks do a lot of that.
Final thing, Rock, I know you showed up every day when you played for the Pack. You show up every day at work now. When's the last time you had a day off?
Probably the last time you had a day off, Lance. You're pretty hard working yourself, and I don't know if it's hard work going to practice and watching the boys sweat. I mean, I don't know if that's hard work, you know.
Well, thanks, Larry. Thanks for rolling up your sleeves and getting this edition done as well.
Thanks for having me, Lance, a lot.
No problem. Lance and Larry, Track of the Pack.